Hi everybody, welcome to another YouTube video. Please don't forget to share and subscribe to my channel if you like my videos. I want to talk in this video about the way our humanity has been socially engineered, because there is really a concerted effort going on to socially engineer humanity. I'm not going to go on all the range of topics that I could talk about, otherwise this video would be really long, but I want to touch upon one subject, and that is, how they want to change the family unit and how they want to change how it means to be man and women. So before I start this video, because I know this is a very um, charged subject, there's a lot of emotions going on with this subject in relationship to the LGBTQ community. First of all, I want to say I have nothing against an LGBTQ community. I have nothing against gays. I have nothing against lesbians or people who call themselves people who consider themselves trans or consider them whatever they want to be. I have nothing against that. So every person can be their beautiful self. What me concern, every person can feel like they want. That's a private thing, and I'm totally okay with that. But that said, there is a concerted effort to socially engineer humanity, and the LGBTQ community, um, you know, is a little bit being misused to implement that agenda in these woke times. And the social engineering of humanity really started a long time ago, back in the 19th century with the eugenics, of course, movement, of which the Rockefeller family was a big proponent, through also Margaret Sanger, who was affiliated with the Rockefellers, and I really go into detail in my upcoming book, which will be released in English soon, called A World in Transition. It's already out in Dutch, and I really go into depth into eugenics, the role of the Rockefeller family, and Margaret Sanger. So these people, these forces have really been trying to influence not only education, which they really succeeded in through the Flexner report, but also to change what it means to be a man or a woman. And that also relates back to Alfred Kinsey, who was also pushed forward by these powers that be in the 60s to do the sexual revolution. And you know the natural inclination of humans is to form couples, and people say no, that's not true. Well, it's the natural inclination. Of course, there's people who prefer to be single, and that's fine, but the natural inclination of human beings is to form couples and to form tribes. That's our natural inclination, and actually that's what the elites wanted to program out of us. You've seen the attack on the family unit. If you look to the 50s and look to society now, in the 50s and 40s and before that, there was still much more of a family unit. Now that family unit, it's still there, but it's really gotten a lot weaker on the average, because of the influence of the modern influence of modern culture. And I'm not a traditionalist, but I'm just this is more of an observation. You cannot deny this is happening. I'm not saying everybody should have a family, or or man and wife. That is not what I'm saying. But this is the trend that we have been under the influence of by this trend of social engineering of humanity. So one big aspect of this is the destruction of the family unit. Getting kids as early as possible into school to actually indoctrinate them. And there are actually politicians calling out for that. Um, making sure women have to work too, so they couldn't take care of the children. That's part of the feminist movement, and I'm all for feminism in a positive way, where women are important and empowered. I'm all for that, but we have to state the fact that a big part of the feminist movement, for example, through Margaret Sanger, was sponsored by these elites who want to do social engineering of humanity. That is something that is just a fact, so we have to take that into account. So at one level, the feminism, the negative side of it, made sure the women couldn't, because men were traditionally providers, and traditionally women took more care of the children. So that also was a concerted effort to change that, to make, also through the economics, to make the two people work, so they couldn't take care of the children. They had to put their children into the education system, so the state can get their grips on them even more. So that's one part of it, is the destruction of the family unit. And the second part of it is changing what it means to be a man or a woman. And now we're seeing, of course, in our woke times, we're really seeing that, where it is really being pushed to the fore, where you can just identify with basically anything. Now, if people want to identify it as whatever they want, like I said at the beginning, I have no problem with it. But the problem is this is being pushed on very young children, um, through all kinds of programs in school, even with sexualization of children, and also, for adults. Yeah, the children of will become adults. The children now will become adults in the future. So this is the problem I have with it, is this being sponsored, this is being socially engineered onto humanity. So that's where the problem is. If people want to be what they want, that's not a problem. But if it's get pushed, especially on our children, to these social engineering circles, of which there is a lot of proof they did this. I mean, you will be able to read it in my book. This is where we have to draw a line, and this is where, they want to change what it means to be human. And this goes back to transhumanism, because transhumanism is really the ideology that these elites want to push on us, to become genderless cyborg beings, genderless, technologically augmented human beings, where we will be a fusion of technology and biology. This is what they say. Klaus Schwab and the World Economic Forum, they state it openly. This is part of that agenda. So we have been really under the influence of mind control and social engineering, especially when it relates to what it means to be a human being, for so long. And we need to recognize that. We need to recognize those trends that are being pushed on us, to be able to say, no, this is not what I want. I want to keep my humanity, because they want to change. They want to change us into something that is beneficial to them, to control us. And it's not going to be beneficial to us. You might say, oh, it's really nice that we have mixed gender bathrooms, but do we really want to have young girls and old men being in the same bathroom? I don't think so. I mean, the biological reality is that there are two genders, and let's be ethical about this. And if you feel you have no gender, that's fine. This is my personal experience. This is your personal experience, but let's keep it ethical, at least, and let's not leave the door open for sexual predators to prey, for example, on young girls, because that's the door that is opened if you really go to the extreme with this. So just a little bit of common sense, personal freedom with the common sense, no social engineering. Thank you. So we really have to be aware of this. That in my opinion, we have to go back to more that of a community, like where people get together and know each other. Of course, not all people are the same. Some people like to be more on their own. Some people like to really be invested in community. That's fine, but I'm talking about the general trend, because the general trend is people don't even know their neighbors anymore, and in a lot of places. And this is the social tissue between people that they want to destroy, actually. So we really have to be aware of it, and being aware of it is the first step, because only when we're aware of it we can say no, thank you, or we better should say no, fuck off, because that's actually what we need to say to this, because it's their social engineering on our humanness, on our human society. So no. So thanks for watching, and if you like my video, please subscribe. Thank you.